Hello everyone and welcome to The Conversation. Yes, That's My Point, the YouTube channel stroke podcast for those who love exploring themes and theories around film, TV show and documentaries, whilst also have sort of a question as to what these things are trying to tell us about this crazy and confusing world we're currently living in, because let's face it, we know nothing. We know absolutely nothing. Anyway, yes, I'm your host Rani, as usual. If you haven't heard me before, hi, welcome. So today I thought I would actually go into how I felt about certain characters in the Netflix series or Netflix commissioned Beastars. And I thought I would go into like my first impressions and my recent impressions on some of the characters, because I think they've drastically changed, apart from a few people, but I think they have drastically changed in terms of how I feel about certain characters. Sorry, that just came out of nowhere. Before I do that, be sure to make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe on my channel. That will help me a lot to see if you actually enjoy my content. And also be sure to leave a thumbs up if you actually like this video as well, because that's what it's for. And make sure to go to my comment section and let me know what you thought of each character of Beastars, whether that be just the 4 main characters, or you want to do every single character in Beastars, including Bill, Tem, Panda. I don't know his name, please. I'll put his name here. I'll put his name like here, but I can never remember his name. I can never remember it. But yeah, be sure to do that because I will be reading them, and yeah, I'll be responding to those messages. Everyone who's still here, let's actually move on to what I actually thought about each character. Okay, so basically I watched Beastars at the start of lockdown. I think I started watching it at the start of this pandemic. So now I know, because I've watched it twice, because I watched it at the beginning of lockdown and I watched it during lockdown so that I could do an episode for my podcast. Shameless plug again, go and watch it. And I'm telling you right now, my opinions on them, on each character, has definitely changed. So I'm going to be going through I've got my notes here. I'm going to be going through the characters Louis, Haru, Legacy and Juno. So I think the first person who we should actually talk about is Louis. So Louis is the red deer. He really annoys me. He annoys me now. The first time I sort of watched Beastars, I think he was my favourite character because he had the fit. He had the outfits. I think I confused his arrogance for confidence, and I thought like, wow, this guy is just on his A game. He's got confidence, he's got style, he's just on it. But now I just like him as a character. But personally, I really liked the fact that I find it enjoyable to dissect him as no pun intended. I find him very enjoyable I think he's the best character to break down. There you go, there's the word, breakdown. Knew I had it. I think he's the best character to break down because it's like, he's got so many layers to him. This guy suffers from like PTSD and childhood trauma. He's gone through the most, right? So for me, like when it came to sort of like me writing down my script, originally I put down for my podcast that I didn't say it because I changed my mind, that he has a prejudice against carnivores, but then I realized that by definition, that's not what he is. He has a reason for why he acts the way he does towards carnivores, because of the fact that when he was younger, he was sold into the black market, or he was put in the black market, and where he was destined to die as a young deer, a young herbivore at the hands of carnivores. He was destined to die, but then he narrowly escaped being killed by these carnivores, and so definitely those sort of memories would stick in your mind as a child, as they have. So that's why I find him so interesting to sort of decode and to sort of break down as a character. He has so many different layers to him. I think he also suffers with a power complex, if I'm not mistaken. I think he suffers with a power complex I think because of the fact that he's expected to be perfect, he's expected to hold such a high reputation, and he's also expected to become the next Beastar. Anyway, so now we're moving on to Haru. Haru has also drastically changed in terms of how I felt about her as a person. Haru, I thought she was quite rude at first. I thought, like, I didn't like her for some reason. I didn't have a valid reason as to why I didn't like her. I think I just didn't like her because I actually don't know. I don't know. But I just didn't like her as a character. But then after a while, I think in my second watch through, I actually didn't mind her. I actually like her. She's my favourite. I think she's my favourite out of everyone who's ever going to be a character in this whole series. Haru, I feel like, is somebody who does not care who you are. She doesn't care if you're a carnivore, herbivore. She doesn't care if you're small, big, gonna kill her. She don't care. She's gonna say what's on her mind because she keeps it 100. She keeps it 100. She always keeps it 100. She's the only character who hasn't really changed her personality or hasn't really had that sort of, you know, she doesn't appear fake to me. She does not appear fake to me personally. She gives you like information, or she gives you like her opinion straight. If she tells you that, like, listen, you're annoying, listen, I can't figure you out, listen, you need to stop doing that, listen, you need to stop blah blah blah, she'll tell you that. She doesn't care. She doesn't care if you're big or small. She doesn't care if you're a carnivore or herbivore. She'll do it. She's quite stubborn. Yeah, I agree with that. She is quite stubborn. And also, like, I agree with her in saying, like, when Legacy tried to question her on why she uses her body, or why she does, you know, certain acts that she does, she's like, I don't care. Like, listen. She's like, listen, do not comment on my situation because you'll never be able to understand where I'm coming from, because you'll never be able to understand what it's like to be a herbivore who feels like they're constantly going to die at the hands of a carnivore. You will never understand that. Like, and she's right. And I agree with her. I really do. I agree with her in a way where she's like, don't comment on something that you don't understand. You'll never be able to understand what it's like to be a herbivore, sorry. You'll never be able to understand that. So don't comment on what I'm doing. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on yourself and your own feelings instead of trying to comment on me. I'm gonna do what I want with myself. You stay in your lane. And that's why I feel like Haru, I like her. I like Haru as a character. So yeah, Haru was who we just spoke about, but now we're moving on to Legoshi. Now Legoshi is someone who I thought to be quite annoying the first time that I saw him, or the first time that I watched Beastars. I thought he was quite annoying, and let me tell you why. Because he gets pushed around quite a lot, and it kind of infuriates me because I'm like, wow, you're really allowing for yourself to be pushed around like that. For what? For why? For where? When you can use your sort of powerful nature in order to gain that sort of respect from everyone. He just chooses to blend in with the crowd. I can see why. I mean, like, because, I mean, the society that they're living in does not favour carnivores. It favours herbivores more than carnivores. And he did say himself that he's been taught all his life to be, to blend in and to just, you know, not act on his feral instincts and to have that self-control, because he definitely has a lot of self-control. He just has that self-control to be able to suppress those sort of instincts and move on from it and just be sort of just to not use them at all. I mean, one occasion was when he was about to eat Haru, and the beast within him was like, please just eat Haru, just eat her up. But then he was like, no, I'm going to rationalize with my thoughts. I'm gonna calm myself down and I'm not going to eat her. And he didn't. We were able to see his feral instincts, not at its full capacity, but we were able to see a glimpse of what it was like to be, to see him in that sort of state. Because when he was when he was saving Haru from the Shishigumi, he was just, I'm gonna tell you just from straight, he just looked cool. This was the moment I was waiting for Legacy, to see what it was like for him to actually show his feral instincts and feral side. The point is, Legacy, my opinion on him hasn't changed. I still find him annoying in terms of being pushed around a lot. However, I do respect him in terms of being able to have a lot of self-control. So the last person we're talking about is Juno. Now Juno, I'm laughing. Ooh, right. So I'm laughing because I put something in my notes, and some of you guys are gonna disagree with me, but hear me out. I'll let you know why I feel the way that I do. Right. So what I put in my notes is that I feel like Juno gives me yandere vibes. I feel like if Juno didn't care about being Beastar, didn't care about her reputation, or didn't care about the devourings that was happening in the society and how everyone was sort of, you know, bullying her because of it, girl, she'll be killing everyone left, right, and centre for Legacy. She would be killing people left, right, and centre for Legacy. Why? Because she's crazy for him. She was crazy for him anyway. She was, the way that she handled Louis, in the way that she pushed him over and was like, listen, don't mess with my man. That girl, she said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that I get what I want. I was like, okay, all right, damn. The way she handled Haru as well, she was all chasing her down. She was like sniffing her. She was like, listen, I want Legacy. I'm gonna make Legacy mine. And I'm gonna make sure that you don't get him. And I was like, wow. They wrote Juno as a completely different character. She would be a yandere, for sure. But also, I feel like Juno actually has good morals. I mean, while she was having that sort of altercation with Louis in the drama club, she sort of showed and said that, listen, I know you don't like carnivores. And so that showed to me that she was very intuitive. Her sort of moral is she wants for there to be peace for carnivores, and she wants for them to be living not like they feel like they're restricted. She wants probably the complete opposite of what Louis wants. And she said that's why she wants to become Beastar and take away his sort of title or crown. Okay, so now you let me know what you thought of each character. It could be the four that I've described, or it could be everyone else, like Bill, Tem, Gohin, who else? The Shishigumi. It could be any other character as well. You give me your first opinions on them when you first watched it, or then your recent opinions on them probably during your second watch. Or even if you read the manga, you let me know what your opinions of them are in relation to the manga, because I'm interested to know, because I'm not reading it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to read it because I can't do that to myself right now. If you want to see more videos like this and want to be kept on this channel, kept up to date as to when I post, make sure you click the subscribe button and also put all post notifications on so you never miss a day, a week, a month, a year that I post. Also, if you want to go and see any social medias or anything on my social media, it's at That's My Point Pod. I'm on Instagram and I'm also on Twitter, so you can follow me on both of those. They're both at the same name, so no excuse. Also, just remember, this YouTube channel is an extension of my podcast, which is called That's My Point, where I talk about films, TV shows and documentaries and the themes and theories behind them and what they may tell us about this world that we're living in. Anyway, thank you so much for listening again. I really appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and yeah, that's my point exactly. Bye.